I can tell you he's in spankingly good form. Effervescent, funny, irreverent, serious, all at the same time. And it was a bit of a love fest, really. I fell in love with him, really. But he's very obliging to his fellow actors. Wonderful feeling on the set, when, of course, he's always the centre of it all. So that was a treat, yes. Only 6 days, but well worth it.
Only 6 days?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I play a ghost.
Imagine one of the most respected actors in the world, a living legend who has seen every kind of talent come and go. Looking straight into the camera and saying he fell in love with Johnny Depp on set. Not just liked him, not just respected him, but actually fell in love with the man and his work. Sir Ian McKellen, the man who brought Gandalf to life for millions, dropped those exact words in a recent Variety interview while promoting his own new film, The Christophers. He described Depp as effervescent, funny, irreverent, and serious all at the same time, calling the short time they spent together a genuine love fest with a wonderful feeling on set. This is not old Hollywood gossip. This is fresh praise landing right now as Johnny Depp steps back into a major lead role for the first time in years, playing Ebenezer Scrooge in the upcoming Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. After everything the public has watched him go through, it's kind of high praise from someone like Ian McKellen feels like a powerful signal. Something real is shifting in Johnny Depp's story, and people are starting to pay attention again. Imagine one of the most respected actors in the world, a living legend who has seen every kind of talent come and go. Looking straight into the camera and saying he fell in love with Johnny Depp on set. Not just liked him, not just respected him, but actually fell in love with the man and his work. Sir Ian McKellen, the man who brought Gandalf to life for millions, dropped those exact words in a recent Variety interview while promoting his own new film, The Christophers. He described Depp as effervescent, funny, irreverent, and serious all at the same time, calling the short time they spent together a genuine love fest with a wonderful feeling on set. This is not old Hollywood gossip. This is fresh praise landing right now as Johnny Depp steps back into a major lead role for the first time in years, playing Ebenezer Scrooge in the upcoming Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. After everything the public has watched him go through, it's kind of high praise from someone like Ian McKellen feels like a powerful signal. Something real is shifting in Johnny Depp's story, and people are starting to pay attention again. What makes this moment hit so hard is how Ian McKellen chose his words. He did not just say Depp was professional or talented. He said he fell in love with him. That is rare language from a man who has worked with the biggest names across decades. McKellen told Variety that Depp was in spankingly good form, that he brought an energy to the set that mixed lightness and depth in the same breath. Effervescent, yet serious, funny, yet respectful to everyone around him. Those 6 days they shared filming felt special, like a small celebration of craft between two actors who clearly clicked. McKellen even called it a love fest, and you can hear the warmth in how he speaks about it. This comes at a time when Johnny Depp has been largely away from big studio leads, navigating years of very public legal battles, media storms, and a kind of quiet period where many wondered if Hollywood would fully welcome him back in this way. Think about the weight of that. Ian McKellen is 86 years old now. He has played everyone from Magneto to Gandalf to Richard III on stage. He has seen egos, brilliance, and everything in between. When someone with that much experience singles out a co-star like this, especially after working together for only a handful of days, it says something about the person Depp is on set. He showed up ready, obliging, and fully present. No drama, no complications, just good work and good vibes, according to McKellen. That kind of endorsement carries real credibility because it is not coming from a studio press release or a paid interview. It is one veteran actor speaking plainly at a premiere event, caught off guard by how much he enjoyed the collaboration. Now zoom out and look at where Johnny Depp stands today. For a long time, the conversation around him was dominated by courtroom headlines rather than new roles. After the high-profile defamation trial that ended in 2022, the industry seemed hesitant. Big franchises moved on without him. Offers that once flowed steadily slowed down. Many fans felt frustrated watching one of their favorite actors sidelined while the world kept spinning. Yet Depp never stopped creating. He painted, he made music with his band Hollywood Vampires. He took smaller, independent projects that let him stay sharp. He kept living as an artist even when the spotlight felt harsh and one-sided. That persistence matters because it shows a man who defines himself by the work, not just by the noise around him. And now the noise is shifting again. Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol is not a small indie project. It is a major Paramount Pictures production with a release date set for November 13, 2026. Director T. West, known for his sharp horror storytelling in films like X and Pearl, is helming this fresh take on the Charles Dickens classic. The script leans into the gothic and supernatural side of the story, following Scrooge as he confronts his past, present, and future in a darker, more haunting journey toward redemption. Johnny Depp as the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge feels almost too perfect on paper. He has spent his career turning eccentric, layered, and sometimes unlikable characters into magnetic screen presences. Captain Jack Sparrow, the Mad Hatter, Willy Wonka, Ichabod Crane, all of them carried that mix of strangeness and humanity that Depp does better than most. Early set photos already show how deeply he has transformed for the role. Depp looks nearly unrecognizable as the cranky old Scrooge, bundled in period clothing with a kind of physical commitment audiences have come to expect from him. Co-stars include Andrea Riseborough as the ghost of Christmas past, Rupert Grint, Daisy Ridley, Sam Claflin, Tremaine Tillman, and of course Ian McKellen in a supporting part that brought out this glowing praise. The cast alone suggests this is not a throwaway holiday movie. It is aiming to be something memorable, a bold reimagining that could remind everyone why Depp became a star in the first place. What stands out in McKellen's comments is the human side. He did not talk about box office or awards. He talked about the feeling on set, a wonderful feeling. That matters because film sets can be high-pressure places where egos clash and schedules crush spirits. When a legend like McKellen says the atmosphere was warm and collaborative, thanks in large part to Depp's attitude, it pushes back against years of narratives that tried to paint the actor as difficult or unreliable. Instead, it paints a picture of a man who shows up, brings energy, and makes the work better for everyone around him. That kind of quiet professionalism often gets overlooked when louder stories dominate the headlines. But it is exactly what fellow actors notice and remember. Fans have been waiting for this kind of moment. Across social media and comment sections, you see the same sentiment repeating. People missed seeing Depp disappear completely into a character. They missed the unpredictable spark he brings to every performance. His ability to make even the strangest role feel lived in and real. The defamation trial victory in 2022 gave many a sense of vindication. But it did not instantly reopen every door in Hollywood. Careers do not always bounce back overnight, especially after years of intense scrutiny. What we are seeing now feels more organic. A respected peer offering genuine admiration. A big studio taking a chance on a classic story with Depp at the center. And the actor himself stepping into a role that lets him explore regret. Change in humanity in ways that echo his own public journey in surprising ways. There is something poetic about Depp playing Scrooge right now. The character starts isolated, bitter, disconnected from joy and from other people. Then, through supernatural visits, he is forced to look at his life with fresh eyes and choose a different path. Redemption arcs have always resonated because most of us carry some version of that story inside ourselves. Watching Depp take on that transformation on screen could feel layered for audiences who have followed his career through the highs, the lows, and now this next chapter. It is not about pretending nothing happened. It is about showing the work, showing the craft, and letting the performance speak louder than old headlines. Ian McKellen's words add another layer to that. When someone of his stature says he fell in love with Depp's presence on set, It invites people to look again with open eyes, not through the lens of past controversies, but through the lens of what is happening today. A veteran actor enjoying the company and talent of a colleague. A set filled with good energy. A film moving forward with real ambition. These details matter because they humanize the story in a way press releases rarely do. They remind us that behind the fame and the gossip, there are real people doing real creative work. Trying to tell stories that connect with audiences. As the release date for Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol draws closer, expect more conversations like this. More voices from the cast and crew sharing their experiences. More set stories that reveal how the production actually felt from the inside. Johnny Depp has always been an actor who thrives when he can lose himself in the character. When the focus returns to the screen rather than the tabloids, this project seems built for exactly that kind of return. A gothic, thrilling take on a beloved tale that gives him room to be strange, funny, dark, and ultimately moving. And the praise from Ian McKellen is landing at the perfect time. It cuts through the noise with honesty and warmth from someone who has zero reason to say nice things unless he truly means them. That is the kind of endorsement that can quietly shift perceptions. Not overnight, not with dramatic announcements, but steadily, one respectful comment at a time. Audiences are noticing. They are curious again. They want to see what Depp brings to Scrooge, how he makes the character his own while honoring the Dickens spirit. They want to feel that old magic that made so many fall in love with his performances years ago. This is only the beginning of what looks like a meaningful chapter. There are whispers of other projects too, including a thriller called Day Drinker alongside Penelope Cruz. But Ebenezer stands as the clearest signal yet that Johnny Depp is stepping back into lead roles with serious studio support. The fact that a director like T. West chose him for this part says something about the trust in his abilities right now. Horror and gothic storytelling require precision and commitment. Qualities Depp has shown throughout his career, even in his most outlandish roles. What we are witnessing is not a guaranteed fairy tale comeback, but something more grounded. An actor who kept working on his craft in private, who stayed true to his artistic instincts. Now, receiving public validation from a peer whose opinion actually carries weight? Ian McKellen did not have to say any of this. He could have given a polite generic comment and moved on. Instead, he spoke with real affection and admiration. That choice tells us a lot about the experience he had and the man he worked with. As more details emerge from the set and as trailers eventually drop, the conversation will keep evolving. For now, this fresh praise from Sir Ian McKellen serves as a strong reminder that talent and professionalism still get noticed in this industry. Even after difficult chapters, Johnny Depp is putting in the work again at the center of a major production. And at least one Hollywood legend walked away from those few days thinking, yeah, I fell in love with him on set. That is the kind of story worth paying attention to as 2026 approaches. As more details emerge from the set and as trailers eventually drop, the conversation will keep evolving. For now, this fresh praise from Sir Ian McKellen serves as a strong reminder that talent and professionalism still get noticed in this industry. Even after difficult chapters, Johnny Depp is putting in the work again at the center of a major production. And at least one Hollywood legend walked away from those few days thinking, yeah, I fell in love with him on set. That is the kind of story worth paying attention to as 2026 approaches. What makes Ian McKellen's comments feel even more authentic is the context in which he shared them. He was not sitting down for a long career retrospective or doing damage control for anyone. He was simply at the premiere of his own film, The Christophers, and someone asked him about working with Depp. Without hesitation, he opened up about the genuine joy he felt during those 6 days of filming. He spoke about Depp being effervescent and bringing a lightness that lifted the entire set. At the same time, he noted how serious Depp could be when the cameras rolled, fully committed to every moment. That balance is rare, and McKellen clearly appreciated it. He did not sugarcoat or exaggerate. He just described what he experienced, and the word love kept coming up naturally. When a man of McKellen's caliber uses language like that, it lands differently than casual fan talk or studio hype. It feels earned. This kind of peer respect matters a lot in an industry where reputation travels fast. Actors talk to each other. Directors remember how someone behaves when the pressure is on. Crews notice who shows up prepared and who makes the long hours feel lighter. According to McKellen, Johnny Depp did all of those things without making it about himself. He was obliging, collaborative, and brought an energy that made the work feel fun even when the material was heavy. That description pushes back against older stories that sometimes painted Depp as unpredictable or hard to work with. Instead, it shows a professional who has grown, who knows how to focus on the craft, and who still carries the spark that made him one of the most watchable actors of his generation. The fact that McKellen highlighted both the fun and the seriousness shows Depp brought depth without turning the set into a tense environment. Now consider the bigger picture of Depp's career path leading into this moment. He rose to global fame through roles that let him be weird, wild, and wonderfully strange. From Edward Scissorhands to Captain Jack Sparrow, he built a reputation for transforming himself completely and for finding humor and heart in characters that could have easily felt cartoonish. That ability did not disappear during the tougher years, even when major blockbusters paused. Depp kept acting in projects like Minamata, where he played a real-life photographer fighting corporate pollution. He poured himself into the role with the same intensity fans always loved. The difference now is the scale. Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol is a big studio holiday release with serious marketing muscle behind it. It is the kind of platform that can reintroduce him to mainstream audiences who may have lost track of his recent work. T. West directing the film adds another interesting layer. West has proven he knows how to blend genre with strong character work. His movies X and Pearl show deep understanding of performance and atmosphere. Choosing Depp for Scrooge suggests West saw something in him that fits the gothic tone perfectly. Scrooge is not just a grumpy old man. He is a complex figure carrying regret, isolation, and the potential for profound change. Depp has spent decades playing men who feel like outsiders, who hide pain behind eccentricity or charm. That lived experience as an actor could bring unexpected emotional weight to the role. Early reports from the set mentioned Depp spending hours in makeup and costume, committing physically in ways that echo his transformative performances of the past. When you combine that dedication with McKellen's warm feedback, the project starts to feel like more than just another retelling. It feels like a chance for Depp to remind everyone what he does best. Of course, the journey to this point has not been smooth. The very public legal battles took a toll both personally and professionally. For years, the media focused heavily on courtroom drama rather than new films or creative projects. Many fans felt the coverage was unbalanced and rushed to judgment before all facts were clear. When the 2022 Virginia trial concluded with a clear victory for Depp on the defamation claims, it shifted the narrative for a lot of people. Suddenly, conversations opened up about how public perception can be shaped by selective storytelling. Yet, winning in court does not automatically restart a career in Hollywood. Doors that close during intense scrutiny often stay closed for a while. That is why moments like McKellen's interview feel significant. They represent organic support coming from inside the industry rather than forced corporate statements. Depp himself has stayed relatively quiet in recent years, letting the work speak when possible. He continued making music, painting, and taking on roles that interested him, even if they were not tentpole productions. That quiet consistency says a lot about his character. Instead of chasing headlines or launching public campaigns, he focused on staying creative. Now, with Ebenezer moving forward, that patience appears to be paying off in a measured way. The film gives him a classic character with modern Gothic edges, allowing him to explore themes of redemption that many audiences will find timely. Scrooge's journey from bitterness to generosity mirrors. It's a kind of second-act stories that resonate deeply when they feel earned rather than manufactured. Ian McKellen's praise adds emotional texture to all of this. Hearing A Knight of the Realm, K-Man, knighted for his contributions to acting and who has entertained generations. speaks so fondly of Depp, humanizes the entire situation. McKellen could have easily given a short, polite answer and moved on to talking about his own film. Instead, he lingered on the positive experience, repeating how much he enjoyed Depp's company and talent. That warmth comes through clearly in the Variety interview. It is not scripted PR talk. It feels like one craftsman acknowledging another in a genuine way. For fans who have defended Depp through tough times, comments like these provide a quiet kind of validation. They show that not everyone in Hollywood bought into the dominant narrative and that real respect still exists based on direct experience rather than rumor. Looking ahead, the release of Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol in November 2026 could mark a turning point. Holiday films often bring families together and spark conversations that last beyond opening weekend. If Depp delivers the kind of layered performance people expect from him, it could spark renewed interest in his entire body of work. Younger audiences who only know him from memes or old headlines might discover the range he has shown over 30-plus years. Older fans who grew up with Pirates of the Caribbean or Sleepy Hollow could feel that familiar excitement again. The combination of a beloved Christmas story with Depp's unique take and McKellen's endorsement creates a strong foundation for positive buzz. Beyond the film itself, this moment highlights something important about how careers evolve in entertainment. Very few actors maintain the same level of stardom for decades without facing setbacks. Public taste changes, industries shift, personal challenges arise. What separates those who endure is often the ability to keep showing up and doing the work with integrity. Johnny Depp has demonstrated that in his own way. Even when opportunities narrowed, he did not stop creating. Now, a major project with a respected director and positive words from a legend. Like Ian McKellen suggests, the tide is turning naturally. It is not about forcing a comeback story. It is about an artist returning to center stage because the work justifies it. The beauty of McKellen's comments lies in their simplicity. He did not claim Depp was the greatest actor alive or promise box office records. He simply said the time on set felt wonderful and that he fell in love with the man and his approach. That honesty carries more weight than exaggerated praise ever could. It invites audiences to approach the new film with fresh eyes rather than old baggage. In an era where social media often amplifies extremes, a calm, respectful comment from someone like McKellen cuts through the noise and reminds people that direct experience still matters most. As production wraps and marketing begins in earnest, more stories from the set will likely surface. Cast members may share their own impressions of working with Depp. Behind-the-scenes footage could reveal the collaborative spirit McKellen described. All of that builds anticipation in an organic way. For now, the strongest signal remains that one veteran actor, after only 6 days of shared work, chose to describe the experience as a love fest filled with wonderful feelings. That single perspective from Ian McKellen offers a compelling counterpoint to years of complicated headlines and opens the door for audiences to rediscover Johnny Depp through the character of Ebenezer Scrooge. This next chapter feels grounded in craft rather than controversy. It centers on performance, transformation, and storytelling, the very things that made Depp a star to begin with. With Sir Ian McKellen's high praise ringing fresh in our ears, the upcoming film carries extra intrigue. People want to see if the on-set chemistry translates to the screen. They want to witness how Depp interprets one of literature's most famous redemption stories. And they want to believe that talent, when paired with professionalism and time, can still find its way back to the spotlight in meaningful ways. If this story of Johnny Depp earning genuine praise from Sir Ian McKellen has you excited for what comes next, hit that like button right now and let me know in the comments which Johnny Depp performance you want to see him bring that same energy to in Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. Are you most looking forward to the darker gothic moments or the moments of redemption? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe so you never miss updates on Depp's comeback projects as 2026 gets closer. Real talent and real respect still cut through the noise, and this feels like the perfect time to watch it happen together. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.